support our team in 2026 as they support the team. Thanks also to Choice and Support for Australia. With over 25 years industry experience, they will go-to trusted experts for and in those businesses in residential and commercial property. We're proud to partner Choice and Support all today as they support the local community. Like our friends in Newcastle, yes, like our great friends in STEM, an institution that provides quality to Australian families for almost a century. Newcastle is good, they're nothing compared to those that Harry Snitchell built. Another Newcastle-based success story, Harry and his team, Snitchell experts are accustomed to Snitchell lovers and heroes. Thank you to Cubic Concrete for their outstanding support throughout the years, and especially valued upgrades did along Darling Street on the Alston development. It's also Alston Diggers, long-term building supporter, providing classic, relaxing, and welcoming club atmosphere going into our players but also our supporters. Thanks also to George Lewis and his team at Steve Lewis National Guinness, Olympics' longest-serving sponsor. Steve Lewis National Guinness has been with us for decades. We're grateful for their long-running support. We'd also like to thank our build sponsors who each proudly support Newcastle community. They include High-Tech Signage, Aussie Home Loans Hamilton, Cantos IT Services, Dakota Tars at East Maitland, Maitland West Kebabs, Aussie Home Loans Hamilton, and playing for breakfast for our stand for property international. Thank you again to all those that support Newcastle Olympic as we celebrate our 50th anniversary. Enjoy the game.
Good evening from Darling Street Oval, your Saturday night of football, match of the round in round 5 of the Northern New South Wales NPL men's competition. And it brings us to Darling Street for the first time this year in men's league play. Newcastle Olympic hosting Maitland FC. Players just about to enter the pitch. Harry Scobie alongside me, fresh off calling the women's game earlier in the day.
Yeah, cracking game earlier on. Maitland having that extra edge, obviously. They're a side that are going to go a long way this season, so a 9-1 comfortable win for them. But we're looking forward to this one. Both teams had shaky starts up and down to start the season, you could argue, but one thing that we know about these two sides is they're intense. I don't mind getting into the scrappy side of things, and excited for tonight.
The Newcastle Olympic have put together a couple of wins in their last two after a first up loss to Western. Maitland let slip a second win in stoppage time last weekend against Valentine, so they will be smarting from that. 2 points dropped, you'd have to say, once you get into that situation. So Newcastle Olympic 5th at the start of the day, despite entering the weekend with a game in hand relative to most. Maitland was 8th. So we're waiting for players to come out. We've just seen reserve grade. It was the host that got up 3-1. So got bragging rights in the opening men's game of the day. A lot of traffic at Darling Street. 4 games today.
On the bench for Olympic, number 10, Sean Pratt.
Yeah, hats off to the ground staff. Obviously a huge day out here, and the pitch looks relatively in good condition. Obviously this is the last game of the day, but it's looking good. Always love Darling Street Oval. Great ground, great canteen as well.
Sure is. My first time as well, I presume first time this year since they've shifted the pitch slightly to the north to bring us a bit more in line as the players enter the pitch now. Speaking of which, and despite this being their first home game of the campaign, Newcastle Olympic still in their white, predominantly white kit, which means that Maitland goes from their predominantly white with black trim to that sort of tealy kit. As the Newcastle Olympic is pretty much as you were, just the one change, I think, to the starting 11 since they last ran out. Jai Rodway named in the starting 11. Couple of changes for Maitland, and we'll get the coin toss in just a sec. Marcus Duncan and Braden Crowley, the captains of these two teams. It looks like Crowley won the toss. And we are almost in readiness for this one. The light's starting to take effect at Darling Street. We're deep in that daylight savings period, so we're closing in on the cooler weather that we're used to for football.
Yeah, most certainly. It's been a weird week weather-wise. A few drops of rain later in the week, but like I said earlier, it's starting to get a bit chilly. And hopefully not too many games can get postponed as the season goes on, but these are the nights you love in football, under the lights, Darling Street Oval, and conditions are starting to drop like you mentioned there, Daniel, but all is set for a huge clash.
So it will be the hosts to kick this one off for us at Darling Street Oval. It is round 5, our feature match in the NPL Northern New South Wales men's competition. Just about to get a kick-off. And there we go. Ben Hay getting us underway, and they bomb it long immediately. We'll deal with it, but there's some harrying defence there for Atani in particular getting in there, and also Southcombe. Olympics certainly keen to press early on. Awkward one for James. He manages to prod it over the top. It's just ahead of Southcombe. It's a little tussle there. James comes up with it, but the free kick is given after Corcoran was given a nudge by Southcombe. So Maitland playing that back three again. This is Thompson in the centre of that trio. Shapes to go long and then goes short instead to Corcoran. And goes the long switcher play instead. It's come down from the skies. It skims off the back of the head of Furatani, and now it is James. Sliding in there was Corcoran. Willing challenge early on. Thompson short to Corcoran. And try and use a bit more with Butchard. Shifts it all the way to the far side of Darling Street Oval.
Yeah, interesting to see Maitland still utilising that back three. They haven't really been caught out using it. It's just interesting that Adam Hughes has implemented it and continued on with it from last season. So at times you can get exposed, but it's interesting to see how they'll fare tonight.
We've got the numbers back here quickly enough, and Ruiz just left a little bit in that one on Cale Bradbury. A free kick in a decent position for Olympic. 30 yards out from the byline. Maybe a bit more. James to take. Keeps it in there. But Ruiz, West might have been winding up. Springs back out there, Rodway. Duncan to try and recycle here for Olympic. Drives one into the area and dealt with well enough by the Magpies. Muddle looks to shift it. He sold it a little bit short, so they'll come under pressure again. Rodway can't keep it in. It's Corcoran back to Thompson. Olympic content to let them have a little bit more space this time. Muddle playing a sort of a deeper midfield role. And they try to push the issue and they'll get the throw in.
Maitland utilising the ball really well early on there. Shifting the ball. We know Adam Hughes has a big emphasis on them shifting the ball with speed, and got a lot of plays in attack that can hurt you as well. Especially the likes of Braden Crowley up top for the Magpies.
Certainly prolific is Crowley, so we'll keep an eye on him tonight. That is he on the ball now, but he's going to have to look back, all the way back to Thompson. And returns the favour. I'm not used to seeing Crowley drop into the sixth position.
Yeah, looking deep early to get on the ball. Wants to get a feeling, a touch of Darling Street Oval.
Not sure if it is still the sixth position, if it's not the textbook for 4-3-3 to which we've become accustomed. But anyway, they do have a six in defensive midfield, Maitland. This is James to take the shy. Ruiz gets a nod on it first, and they're going to watch that dribble over the byline.
Cagey start so far. Both teams trying to get their foot on that ball a little bit more. I feel like Maitland have shifted it the better of the two sides, but Olympic obviously had that set piece early.
On it goes, and Lundy's first two to hook it back. Not as far as Furatani. Now it's a bit of a contest. Must have taken a touch on the way through because Olympic have the throw. James down the line to try and find Hay, who's got a little bit of space, but not the best of first touches.
An exciting play to watch. Ben Hay, he can hit a ball from distance as well. He loves picking it up in around the box and unleashing from range. He also loves getting on set pieces, especially free kicks. Player that obviously featured at the Jaffas a few years ago. Really like him as a player. Looks like he's going to play more high tonight, along with the former Jaffa and Cale Bradbury as well.
Pretty keen to use the width of Darling Street are the Magpies at the moment. Well, there's no way through there. Thompson rolls it to Corcoran. Ruish. Muddle. To find some space here. It's Collins who's tried to float one over, but it's easy pickings for Pearce, who has the gloves on again for Olympic tonight. James has given himself a task here. He's managed to keep it in, and Southcombe has managed to keep possession, and now they find a little bit of space on that right-hand side. Rodway tries to slide it through for Toby. It was a little bit direct, and now the counter-attack might come from the Magpies. That's a handy intervention to snuff out that opportunity, and Olympic will try and reset. Bramora just puts himself under a little bit of pressure. James back to Bramora. They found a way out of it. No. James. Hay. Southcombe. Trying to pick out Bradbury. Well, he's had a difficult first touch, and that was enough for the defence to recover. Butchard. Swing it out wide to Collins. You can get it. It's a nice turn from Collins, and now they get facing forward, and Crowley receives. To Ruish. Butchard.
Good patches of football from both teams early on, Daniel. Olympic, last 2 minutes have really started to pick up and play some nice football, but both teams early on really good.
Still going on a run was Corcoran. He's taken it all the way into the area, right at the back, and now they will try and go quickly here. An important intervention from Butchard. Read it well. Collins back inside to McFarlane. Ruish. Collins again. Collins and Ruish now. McFarlane again. Muddle was calling for it. Instead they look to chip it over the top and out wide, and Collins will try for the cutback. He'll at least earn the corner first of the game.
Yeah, huge set piece this for the Magpies. McFarlane again with the ball over the top. Thought it had a bit too much on it, but the ball obviously ends up going behind, and the Magpies have the first of the night.
Angus Muddle charged with the delivery of this one. There's a low one. Ruish tries to flick it on, and it's over the bar and out for a goal kick. Helped on its way by Southcombe, and the flag is up, and Bradbury will go no further, despite his protests.
I was going to say, I think Bradbury's arguing the case here. He doesn't seem too happy at all. Still going now with the protest to say he was onside, but again, he'll be dangerous in behind today. Despite him getting on a tiny little bit in age, his pace is still there. He's still dangerous for opposition defences, and such a lethal striker.
It's Corcoran to Lundy. And Thompson. Muddle. Corcoran. No way past Furatani. Butchard, Ruiz, Collins. Corcoran will carry it into the Olympic half now, and they retreat. And that's an awkward one for Thompson. They bats it back to Pate. Not quite sure the goalkeepers appreciate a back pass like that, but he dealt with it well enough.
I was going to say maybe a bit more speed behind that one, and it would have been a bit worrying for Taylor Pate in goals.
Could have been calamitous. Crowley dropping in to try and make the link, and there's a tangle of legs, and a free kick goes the way of the visitors. To Collins. Inside for McFarlane, who's been hacked there. That'll be another free kick. Don't blame him for staying down for that one. I mean, that would have stung.
It looks like McFarlane's still trying to get back to his feet, or maybe tying his shoelace on that far side. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I think he's tying his shoelace after all.
He's actually got the boot all the way off now.
Wonder whether he'll look to get on this set piece once he returns to his feet, or whether it will be Muddle, is it, over on the other side with him as well?
It is indeed. It was Muddle who was on the corner from that side earlier, so it stands to reason that it's he who takes, and he does. It's not a bad delivery, but it's refused by Rodway. Muddle will get a second bite here from more open play, and he drills one in low. Just a little bit too much for James Thompson to deal with. Muddle again, beats one challenge, and an option to the left, an option to the right, and he goes to the left, and Ruiz that's with it now. He tries to switch a play. It's not a bad one, finds Lundy. He's well covered, but he nets a nice little cross in, and Crowley, not a bad header, just had to make a bit too much power, and it was easy enough for Pearce to shuffle across.
Yeah, that initial switch from Ruiz onto the far right-hand side was a lovely ball floated. And if you can get service like that to Braden Crowley throughout the night, I'm sure he'll be looking to do better on that occasion and direct some more power behind that header. But Maitland, again, look promising when they can get the ball into wide areas.
It's Olympic that are trying to work the wide areas now, and then back inside to West for Atani. Did have that remark for Ratani. A little run and a little chip over the top, trying to find Toby, but Pate was there just in time. Thompson now out to Corcoran. Again, they try the switch of play. Rodway back to his keeper, Pearce. Collins now to try and carry it up and play it into ground. Nice little back heel from Royce. Muddle again tries to float one over to Lundy. It doesn't reach him this time. Southcombe, Furatani had a bit of work to do and some nice footwork.
Furatani's looked very tidy early on in this one.
Duncan. captain of Newcastle Olympic. Short to West. Well, ironically, he's on the eastern side of that defensive midfield pairing for the first half, at least. At least as they stand. Toby with a bit of work to do. They'll get the throw. Rodway has a few to aim at in the area. Floats one in there. Haid across the turn, and it goes across the face. Might still be a chance here for Southcombe. He needs an outlet here. He needs a bit of support. Still going to try and go his own. Weight of numbers favours Magpies, and Southcombe, I like that. Commitment from the front man. Just trying to get in there and grub that ball back out. Didn't work out, but they're trying to ham Maitland in here, and West has managed to win it back, but he had hands over Muddle.
Yeah, the midfields have been busy for both teams to start this one. Like you mentioned, Muddle for Atani. Ben Hay even been on the ball a lot in the opening exchanges, so I think the midfield might go a long way to winning this one tonight. Both have been energetic from the start.
Collins manages to step inside, and he'll try himself from distance, and it's a fizzing shot. Pearce didn't get it cleanly, but he had his body behind it. West back to Duncan. Might want to count things down for a moment, these boys. Brimora had to move quickly to James. Tries to step around Lundy, and they're just not quite on the same wavelength there. So Maitland will try and counter-attack. And he's still going with Thompson, but he's in the way to throw now. James goes long. Corcoran will try and shield this one out, and successfully done. Corcoran's on the end of the throw, and then to Thompson. Pate out to Butchard. Then they're going side to side. Sliding in though was Toby. And beats one challenged as Nathan Toby's got a couple to aim at central. Comes in low. Dealt with by Thompson momentarily. Danger not completely averted though. That is West, edge of the area, trying to force his way into the 18 and gets the shot away. Pate scoops it up.
Great energy shown, especially by Nathan Toby on the right-hand side to intercept that pass and then go on a run of his own. He's one of many players that have shown a sign of energy tonight to start this one. It's been a very intense start. Both teams happy to keep the ball in possession, but when they do get it forward, it's certainly at a high tempo.
Collins trying to go early and catch them out, but Brimora read it for Atani now. Trying to thread his way through traffic, and it didn't come off. Both chancing their arm at the moment. That's a nice floated ball over the top for Bradbury. Flag has stayed down this time. Bradbury doesn't have much support. Has to go himself and forces a good save from Pate. Corner to Olympic.
When you see Cale Bradbury in those positions, you'd expect he'd look to cut in maybe on that right foot and try and bend one, but tried to catch Taylor Pate off guard. Certainly worth an effort from there, and he struck it not too bad.
I reckon it wouldn't have been too far away from that near post.
Well taken shot, that's for sure.
Hey, that is standing over the ball for Newcastle Olympics' first corner of the evening. At 20 minutes into this one, it's a floated ball in there. Bradbury was waiting for it to sit, and it just wouldn't. West got it through the bodies, but it was wide of the target. You see Bradbury, I'm sure in his head, was just wheeling that one to drop for him. Try and get a shot away.
Yeah, if he was afforded a bit more time there without any Maitland players trying to shut him down, he certainly would have fancied his chances. Yeah, I was going to say, fair to say, Adam Hughes has been quite vocal to start this one.
He has. This is Royce. Haven't seen on the ball too much so far. He's roll it to Corcoran. Muddle to Thompson and out to Corcoran again. Just slide one through Lundy. Tried to kick himself along there, but not quite. That's a free kick. The referee's shown already he's going to be pretty strict on any sort of shirt pulling and hands on players.
Yeah, early on I get the sense that this could be a game of chances and making sure you do take your chances, because it has been a fast start and there has been a few chances in this game, especially in the way of Crowley and Bradley, the two strikers. But
a little bit more open space here and they try and send Toby after it, but it's a bit too ambitious. But they're willing to pull the trigger. They just haven't hit the target yet. Ruish floats one over coast to Corcoran, almost to the coast. Now it's out there with Lundy. Got some feet to aim at. He's trying to find McFarlane. Too much to do there. Furatani. Back to Furatani. He's got a little bit to do. That's a fairly blatant free kick. Furatani spots Rodway, but it's a little bit short, and Royce will pick that one up and try and float one in for Crowley, but Brymora is there to meet it. Again, here come Maitland again. McFarlane, he's got Lundy on a run, but he had to go the other way. Now Muddle tries to chip it over to Lundy. And they deal with it in defence. Do Olympic. And James has gone on a little bit of a run here. In fact, quite a lot of a run. And he's going to try and win it back here. Body's flying in for the football. And it ends in an Olympic throw.
Looked like it was Butchard that had all right to go in for that tackle, but then James decides to go in as well. A bit of a tight one to call there, but Kiri James again down this left-hand side. He's been busy to start this one. We talked about Maitland using their fullbacks to get on forward and playing that three at the back. Well, Olympic are playing with four at the back, but as you can see here, their fullbacks do like to get on high.
Thompson, Ruish. Corcoran out to Lundy. And that sort of wing-back position. He was trying to find McFarlane. It's ricocheted off the back of a white shirt. And it's a throw to the men in teal tonight. Teal, turquoise, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was discussing it earlier. I think it's teal, aqua, maybe? Tricky one to call. It's not a bad jersey, though.
It's not a bad jersey until the players start perspiring a bit and then the black numbers get lost, and the commentator doesn't appreciate that at all, I've got to say. Especially those nights when you're deep in the grandstand at Weston when they're playing in a derby and have to be in the away strip. Lundy tries to roll it through the area. I say this from bitter experience. Here's Collins combining with Royce and now Ruish. Not hard to pick him out.
Yeah, most certainly. Not only the hair, the boots as well. Flashing.
Muddle back to Corcoran and Thompson. And they try and go a bit more vertical, and Lundy back to McFarlane. Floats one towards the edge of the area. Just swung away, but there's still a chance here. No, free kick given. Nodded back in by James, and he was almost on the end of the return from Southcombe. McFarlane keeps this one in. Lundy comes inside, and he's got some options ahead of him. Just have to track back momentarily. Ruiz out to Collins. Collins back to Ruiz. Royce tries to fling one into the area, and it's returned by Duncan with a bit of interest. Now Corcoran, his opposite number. Thompson. Corcoran again, shifts it to Lundy. Thompson slides one through to McFarlane, who lays it off for Muddle. And Crowley's in there, and it's a decent save by Pearce. He was out there smartly, made himself big and made the stop.
Incredible football there from Maitland. I've been really impressed, especially with their one-touch football. And you could tell as soon as that ball got played in the middle, Crowley knew where to run.
Lundy, Ruiz. McFarlane towards the back stick and just batted away by Pearce. Danger not averted yet, and they will have to defend another corner. So opportunity starting to mount up for Maitland. Another one here from the dead ball. Muddle into a crowded 6-yard box, and it's evaded everyone for now. Trying to recycle is Royce. Giving himself a bit of work to do here. Now he gets it over, and it's not the worst cross, and it gets to Muddle at the back stick. Duncan gets ahead on it. They haven't quite cleared their lines yet. Thompson trying to force his way through the crowd, and he's got a penalty. Referee points to the spot, and Maitland have a penalty.
It's a tricky one, that. Really tricky to tell up here as well where we're sitting, but no doubt Braden Crowley will be looking for the ball to step up and take this one.
I think that's what the referee indicated, that the contact was just inside the area. It stands to reason if we're about to stick the ball on the spot 12 yards out. Braden Crowley, after a pretty good chance on a nice through ball a couple of minutes ago, will now go one-on-one with the keeper from the dead ball. Crowley steps up and buries this one, and Maitland take a 1-0 lead.
Never in doubt, Braden Crowley, composed finish from the spot, takes him to 4 goals for the season. Daniel, you can have no complaints. Maitland have started this game, shifted the ball really nicely. Adam Hughes is certainly happy on the touchline.
So it's taken us almost half an hour, but we have the opening goal of the game, and not too much of a surprise to say. It's that man in number 14 that's leading the line for the visitors. Collins now trying to draw in Crowley. Chance here already. Bradbury tries to turn provider this time, and it was Hay that ran onto it and hit it on the turn. Had to flick it around his body.
Yeah, Olympic on the hunt there for an instant reaction after going behind. Saw in the women's game earlier when Olympic took the lead 1-0 through Gemma House that Maitland responded within 20 seconds to equalise things. So good signs there between Bradbury and Hay.
They try a bit of variation. They try and float one over, and Collins couldn't take it with him. So Rodway out to Toby. He prods it through for West. Has to check his run and then tries to return the favour for Toby, who will at least get a throw out of it. Go quickly to West. He comes inside and shuffles himself, and then just puts it behind Southcombe. Breaks down. He's in there trying to win it back, West. He's trying to harry them. Lundy is the one that's under pressure. Gets it out to Corcoran. And Muddle. Muddle again on the ricochet. Rolls it to McFarlane. total football stuff here from Maitland as they all shuffle around and find a way to potentially launch an attack here. Collins will at least draw a throw in.
They know their roles so well, the Magpies. They're well drilled. It's nothing against Olympic. I just think Maitland had a bit more purpose to their play early on. And like you mentioned, Daniel, looking to use the width.
McFarlane blocked with the shot there. Ruiz trying to make the link. Slides it to Corcoran. Square for Ruiz again. Butchard. Probing at the moment, Maitland. Muddle able to look forward now in a slightly heavy touchdown, gives it away. This is Hay. He's got one to aim at. And Butchard puts a stop to that. McFarlane out. Muddle. Crowley dropping into the number 10 position this time. Now Butchard. Collins wide left. Muddle makes a run and was almost on the end of the flick on. Some fancy stuff there. They just maybe got a little bit too cute there, did Maitland, but they've got another shot here through Lundy. He has to check back. Corcoran. Lundy again a little bit more central. Crowley out to McFarlane. This is lovely football from Maitland. The cross comes in now and it's helped on its way by Rodway. Still work to do as Collins tries to recycle for the Magpies. Butchard now. Muddle. Ruiz. Back to Thompson and Maitland will try and start again. Look at Crowley, how deep he's come to receive that ball now as well.
Yeah, really busy to try and get on the ball. Brayden Crowley as he slips there, but it's interesting if that's something that's been mentioned pre-match about him dropping deeper and looking to get on the ball.
And they lose it. Can Olympic hit them quickly? This is Hay. He's got Southcombe making a run in front of him. He's got a couple to aim at. And out for it is West. He'll do well to run this one down, and he does. He'll look to get across in West. Just a low one. It's Toby. Now Southcombe. Can he turn and get a shot away? No. He goes the layoff instead. And Pate was blocked there. Flag goes up now, and that won't count. Spotted an offside in there. Must have been where Pate was trying to bat that one away.
It was Southcombe, potentially?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, the offside. Bit of a shame because it was a great finish to a move that had a lot of promise.
And a couple of them up there. Anyway, so still unbreached officially a Maitland. Corcoran. And a couple making a run. McFarlane has got a bit of space here on this right-hand side. He'll try and cut in himself, McFarlane, and just let that one get away from him. James was equal to the task. Southcombe nods it down only as far as Thompson. Muddle. Ratani's opposite number comes in, but it's ended up with Lundy instead, and there are still numbers forward for Maitland. Deep, Crowley takes it on the chest, lays it off to Collins. Looking for a way through his Collins. Crowley again. He spotted McFarlane. Right idea, just a little bit too much to do there.
I was going to mention, Daniel, definitely the right idea. Certainly a lot of space to open up down the right. It's been good to see those two combine on occasions in Borelli and McFarlane.
So they hit the deck, and then Corcoran hits on the end of it. Ruiz, Furatani. Turquoise shirts everywhere, but he finds a way through. Furatani he tried his luck.
Great initial footwork, wasn't it? To escape those two players.
I didn't think there was a width of the diameter of a football to get through there, but he found a way. It's not bad from Thompson. And McFarlane goes quickly. Must be Royce out there. Get through the first one, and then Duncan comes in. It was Collins, in fact. Now West. Got Southcombe making a run, but they look back instead. Duncan, the captain, across to his other centre half in Brymora. Sweep it out to Rodway. They've got a little bit of room to move out here, but Toby is going to have a task to keep this one in. He manages to earn a corner.
Certainly a lot of tall timber making its way forward for Olympic. Marcus Duncan, Southcombe most notably as well. Plenty of targets there.
And a lot of numbers back for Maitland, all 11 of them. So it goes into the 6-yard area and it rings around and eventually Pate falls on it. Had everyone back for that corner. Lundy. It's a firm challenge from Southcombe, but Lundy still comes out of it with the ball. Out to McFarlane. Corcoran had to move quickly. Muddle prods it back to Thompson. Butchard has a little bit more time and space to think about this one. Slides it out to Collins. Back inside for Ruiz. Ruiz to Muddle. Lundy's in plenty of space, and that is where it goes. Regan Lundy, excellent first touch. Tried to slide McFarlane in there. Corcoran with the juggle as well. Luke Corcoran. Thompson, Ruiz trying to work the tight spaces, the Magpies at the moment. They go a little bit more direct, and that's not worked out too badly. That is Crowley out there. Comes back inside. McFarlane back to goal. Well, you could see it was the layup. He's trying to make there. Lay off. Now Olympic will try and counter-attack. Southcombe. Toby couldn't reel it in. He was trying. Royce back to Muddle. McFarlane. Lundy again. He's finding plenty of room on this right wing. Teal on the right wing. There's a joke there somewhere. Hello to all of you who've managed to avert your gaze from the South Australian election to join us tonight. We'll sit up straight here for a sec. And Ricochet has favoured Ruiz. He's just edge of the area and almost got it across to Crowley, but Duncan just got a toe in there.
Adam Hughes definitely more animated of the two coaches, on his feet, riding every emotion of his side, with and without the ball.
Royce almost got himself in a little bit of trouble there, managed to get out of it. Might have been a foul coming for Furatani anyway if he didn't. Muddle stabs it, but only to Southcombe. They just got themselves in a little bit of a muddle there. Did Maitland. This is James. Shifts it to West. Duncan. West again. Braimora just gives himself a bit of work to do for Ratani. Turns out and manages to find Southcombe, and it's for Ratani again. Braimora. Lundy wins it initially and ricochets. It was an awesome, awkward for me, awkward one there, the way that spun at Braimora.
Maitland just seem a little bit more energetic at the minute. I know when Olympic have gone forward through the likes of Toby and Hay, showing signs of intent, but especially with the ball, Maitland look to shift it quicker and look to have a lot of purpose behind their attacks, which start at the back here. Corcoran, as you mentioned, been so busy on the ball on this right-hand side.
He's going to go on a little run again, and then Crowley off to McFarlane. There's space there, but they go to Crowley into the area again. Crowley, can he put it away? Sure can. Braden Crowley doubles the lead for Maitland. It was a composed finish. It nestles in the bottom corner. He has a brace already.
Well, again, McFarlane to Crowley. Those two have been huge in the reason why Maitland have got a two-goal buffer early in this one. And as soon as McFarlane picked up the ball, Crowley knew to make the run on him behind, and he got in front of his defender. The defender there either clips him down in the box or lets him get inside, and Crowley one-on-one with Pearce. Slots it perfectly into the bottom left, and Maitland fully deserving of their 2-0 lead.
And in the shadows of half-time too, only about 3 to go in this opening stanza, plus maybe a little bit of stoppage time. But it's never a bad time to score, but that's a pretty good time compared to all the others.
Yeah, most certainly. Certainly not what Olympic would have wanted from the stroke of half-time. 1-0, not a bad scoreline considering the way they've played so far. But 2-0 is certainly a bit of a mountain to climb for Michael Bolcher's side, who haven't by any means been terrible. I just think Maitland have come out with a bit more intent, a bit more urgency.
Royce. He tries from away out. It's blocked initially by Braimora, so Royce squares it for Lundy. And Crowley almost got free with a ricochet. He has come up with the ball again, Crowley, and rides that first challenge. Weight of numbers favoured Olympic, but Lundy has just got a bit too cute with that one, I think, and eventually we actually get a free kick the way of Olympic. Two minutes of time added, the assistant indicates. Floated it over the top, and Pate, naturally enough, is in no real rush to glove this, if at all. He's going to force the issue. Is there time for someone to make another impact on the scoreboard in the last probably 90 seconds that we have now of this opening stanza at Darling Street Oval? It's time for another free kick. Muddle. Butchard. Thompson out to Corcoran. Lundy. Southcombe. Still going is Lundy. Just stabs it at Royce. And Royce dallied and had his pocket picked by Southcombe. He's going to try and win it back, but Southcombe is strong on the ball. Maybe there's a chance for one last attack for Olympic. James Keeps it in. He's got a teal wall in front of him though, and Ruish wins it back for the Magpies.
Maitland will just be happy to keep the ball the remaining time that remains.
It's Corcoran. Flings it over, but it's given up to Toby. To Hay. Toby again on the run. Flag has stayed down. That was a save that had to be made by Pate. And now they'll have a corner to survive deep in stoppage time.
It looks like time will continue for now. We'll see what this injury.
It's Lachlan Royce that's going to get a bit of attention. Not sure what that was about. He's going back to us, so I can't even really see what they're looking at the moment. They will have to defend this corner with 10, though.
Really important they do this, see this corner out. Olympic can pull one back before the break. It creates for an exciting second half.
Here it comes. It's a floated corner against Southcombe. Got a header on it. Was there a hand there? No. Waved away. I've got to say, it was worth a question. It looked like Collins had an elbow that moved awkwardly, I'll say that. The referee's decided no handball, so we go on. Still, we wait for the full-time whistle. Still, Royce waits to be called back on. Now he is. So Maitland back to the full complement. And he rushes back in to try and defend now. Hay. Still Hay. A lot of traffic there. On the turn was Furatani. And that is the end of the half, finally. And a half which Maitland had the best of, but Olympic almost made something of right at the end.
Yeah, there was a huge chance at the end there for Olympic to claw something back, especially in the final 5 minutes. But Maitland thoroughly deserving of their lead. 2 goals to Braden Crowley, which takes him to 5 for the season. And I'm expecting a little bit more from Olympic coming out in the second half. They need to show a bit more signs of intent to claw their way back into this one.
So Braden Crowley, the difference so far in this one. Half-time at Darling Street Oval. It's Newcastle Olympic 0, Maitland FC 2.
yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good. Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
Second half awaits here at Darling Street Oval, and this is a concern for Olympic. Joe Rodway went back on. He's just being escorted off now, and he's looking in some discomfort. So that could be a change. That will be a change, in fact, because that is the alternate right back, Max Cotton, who has just gone on. So an injury and forced substitution, it looks like, late in the break. And that'll be first change for Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, interesting to see what happened there. Didn't really catch what actually occurred to Rodway, but nonetheless he'll head down the tunnel now.
I've not seen an injury in the sort of brief warm-up to get started for the second half before, so I'm a bit of a loss as to how that's happened, but it has happened, and now it is Cotton who we see. He sees the ball just going past him now. Royce is in the area, off for Collins. Collins, that's Cotton that has his first defensive work to do of this game. Back to Muddle. Wasn't much doing for him. He's just skewed that one out to that far side. Corcoran now. Thompson will try and restore a bit of order here, the Magpies. Chipped across to Lundy. It's an ambitious one. Hay. Try and hit them on the counter-attack. Flag will stay down here. And it's flicked across, and Toby shovels it over. It's an awkward chance for him.
Good early signs, though, from Olympic, starting with Cale Bradbury down the left-hand side. I feel like they need to lift things just that little bit up a notch in this second half. Try and find a way back into the contest. Certainly capable of doing so.
Royce. Muddle. Floats one over for Collins. Collins is going to need a little bit of help here. Ruiz obliges. Digs in, not a bad cross, and McFarlane. The worst header. So it appears that Maitland unchanged relative to the opening stanza, as Newcastle Olympic were planning to be. It is the aforementioned Cotton, a new right back for Newcastle Olympic, who's got a bit of work to do. Royce pinches it off him. Ruiz to Butchard, now Muddle. Collins. Butchard again. Movement is just so fluid for Maitland at the moment. McFarlane around the corner to Lundy. McFarlane again goes long to Collins. Second time we've seen it this half alone. Tried to play Royce into some space. It's a little bit too heavy.
Maitland have been in this position most notably last week as well. Put themselves in a favourable position to go and win that game at Carradas Bay last week. I know they're ahead by 2 tonight, but even last week, I'm sure that'll be playing in the back of their mind. They dropped 3 points there at Carradas Bay, but like I said, they've put themselves in a great position thus far.
Cotton sends Toby on a run down the line. Butchard got a touch on it. Manages to turn around. He tried to thread it up the line as well. He had his legs chopped out from under him there. Cotton pulled out of the challenge in the end, and just as well. Ruiz to Thompson. Lundy under a bit of pressure, but took it down well. And now they'll face forward, and Regan Lundy undoes his good work. Ratani back to Duncan. Just hear the groan from Duncan as he skied that one. He's under pressure, and he got a ball that wasn't quite on the deck. So somewhat understandable. West. Collins goes short with the throw. Crowley is deep and draws the foul, and then a bit of afters between Crowley and West.
Was it those two that were into it earlier as well, Daniel? On this far right touchline early in the first half that had a battle. Not sure if it was those two.
Yeah, well, that I'm not sure what sparked that, because it looked like a fairly straightforward foul. We'll have a free kick and get on with it, but Crowley took exception to something. And now it's on again, and this time West has felled Royce. And Crowley is asking the obvious question, and I think West is just going to get a talking to, but I suspect the next one he may see a yellow ticket.
Yeah, a bit of frustration potentially creeping in for Newcastle Olympic and a few of their players. Subs start to get ready, especially from a Maitland perspective, but this doesn't look good. There's a stacked bench tonight, the Magpies. A few options there. A few that played in the reserve grade grand final. This is exact round here last year when Maitland reserve grade won out winners in penalty shootout.
Just thinking as well, it's not the first time Royce has had to receive some assistance in this game. It was only right at the end of the first half. So it'll be the second time he'll be instructed by the referee to go off and wait to be called back on. May be a bit black and blue in the morning, Lachlan Royce, after all of that. It would almost be the theme here tonight if they weren't in alternate kits. West can't keep it in, so the Shire will go to the Magpies. Thompson, short to Corcoran. That's sloppy. Toby comes up with it. Muddle makes up for it for Maitland.
Looks like to start this second half, Southcombe is the man leading the line at number 9 and push Cale Bradbury a bit more out to the left. Southcombe certainly was busy in that first half. There he is again.
Little sweep back as well. Inventive off the jet. Hey. Thwarted by Ruiz. Royce. I thought he was going to try and do a trick shot like a seal the way that ball started to climb his shoulder. This is not a bad run from Collins. He's beaten a couple, but he can't beat Cotton. Toby in hard. The challenge is starting to fly in here. This could get a little bit messy at some point.
Well, yeah, frustration is certainly creeping in, especially for Olympic. Maitland, that team that I mentioned pre-match, doesn't mind getting into a messy sort of affair if things do turn out that way. And certainly right, Daniel. A few nasty challenges flying in as of late.
Ruiz. Lundy. This is open up some space now. McFarlane has to check his run. A little layoff. Again, it's Royce, I think. No, it is Lundy. Over again. Crowley. Ruiz. Collins. There's a decision to make here. Royce off for Crowley. Tries to play in McFarlane, but plays that one a little too vertical.
Yeah, those two have been on the hunt for each other all night. Obviously, McFarlane, you've seen him out on the right, seen him pop through the middle, especially for that second goal where he threaded one through into the path of Crowley. Although Crowley has 2 goals to his name, I think McFarlane deserves a lot of credit, not only for those 2, but his combination in general.
Right, that one did get a touch on the way through, so Cotton will be able to take the throw. Sends Toby on a run, and he lashes it across the area and over the byline, and a goal kick will ensue. Corcoran to Lundy. Muddle stabs it back to Corcoran. Close in on him, but somehow finds a way through. Muddle again.
Been busy tonight, Muddle. Starting to really make a name for himself in the middle of the park. We know it's not an easy position to play, but I feel like the youngster's been really busy and put in a good shift so far.
There he is again. Butchard back to Thompson. Southcombe just leaves a little bit in there, and foul is given. Thompson stays down. Surprises me a bit. I didn't see too much in there. It was just a little bit of a late nudge, but if you go by the reaction of James Thompson, there must have been a bit more in it.
Yeah, my eyes were towards the pass that was played in behind, because there was half a chance on outright for Lundy, but good to see him back to his feet.
Corcoran. Giving it up, Toby. We'll try and go quickly here. This is Hay. Got a bit of work to do is Hay. Now he finds an outlet in Furatani. Cotton. Just to beat one, and then ends up getting a little bit tripped up on the ball. This is Muddle. Maitland advancing again through Lundy, and then McFarlane. Almost Lundy again. Muddle lashes at it. Wide of the goals.
Again, really well worked. Really nice football in and around the box. Muddle had all the right there to go for goal. Obviously couldn't get it on target, but again, really well worked. Playing an exciting brand of football. The Magpies, something that's taken time to really get on board, and the players are certainly buying in. They've been a pleasure to watch so far.
And now a free kick for the nudge on Toby from Butchard. Who gives the assistant a little bit of a facetious applause.
Maybe feels that finally a decision's gone their way. Great chances though. Ben Hay got a wicked left foot on him. Plenty of targets in the box as well.
Once again, all their left behind the ball for Maitland. Tries to turn provider, and there's a nice little knot on. And it's Southcombe who pulls one back for Olympic. Just helps it's on its way and into the back of the net.
Well, that is the spark, I guess, that Olympic have needed. We knew they'd come out this second half with a bit more purpose, but they've struggled to really create any clear-cut chances. And from the dead ball there, Ben Hay, lovely delivery, and Southcombe Obviously got that height advantage, and could that be the goal that sparks things for the home side?
Hay was in firm with the challenge. Bradbury trying to chase it down. He's beaten to the ball. And there's a bit of pep in the step now for the Warriors. Collins is forced to track back and wait for that one. Gets past Cotton, the first attempt. Inside for Crowley. Lundy. Crowley rolls it towards McFarlane, edge of the area. McFarlane cuts back inside and takes a shot himself, and it rebounds off Duncan. Now they manage to clear their lines.
Shot certainly had some power behind it from McFarlane, cutting in on that preferred left foot. But although Olympic have reduced the deficit, they still have to be wary of the danger that Maitland possess.
Well out to McFarlane. It's James that got in the way of that one. Bradbury with a bit of work to do. Now they come again. They were looking for Toby. Couldn't quite get to him, and eventually it ends with a Maitland throw-in. Corcoran goes long. Cotton for Itani. Toby. Cotton again. Duncan. Squares to Brymora.
Starting to keep that ball a little bit better now, Olympic.
Southcombe to Toby. Toby into the area momentarily. Brymora out to James. James floats it into the area. Again, the Maitland defence equal to it, and for Itani judged to have committed the foul. Might have been a question about whether it was soft or not. I'll say the referee's been consistent tonight. Not all. Which, of course, is probably the first thing you ask for out of a referee.
Yeah, you're spot on. Spot on. He has been good tonight.
Southcombe trying to make use of his body, but Corcoran is stronger on the ball there. Wins possession. Royce points one way, goes the other. Thompson. He's got Collins out here, if he can get it to him, and he does. Crowley scored the first two goals of the game. The first of those from the penalty spot. Muddle trying to close in on him, but he finds Ruiz, who had to take an awkward touch as that rolled up on him. Butchard. Ruiz. Higher press now from Olympic. They're he's smelling a bit of blood here after halving that deficit. McFarlane. Crowley's in behind here, but it's a little bit too much to try and run down for Braden Crowley, who is on a hat-trick at the moment. Toby helps on its way. Can Hay run onto this one? He nods it down. Ruiz goes with him. And the call is goal kick.
Yeah, touching on your point earlier, Daniel, I agree. Olympic have certainly upped the press a little bit. Something I felt that they weren't doing enough in the first half, especially when Maitland had the ball in positions with the back three. But you can see the shout on the bench is to go, and I feel like if they can rob Maitland and pinch it high up.
It's played through for Collins, but the flag goes up. Basically in line with our commentary position. I reckon Collins was about half a metre off when it was played through. James has to come back to West. Hay, West again. Go to Tani. Duncan got Cotton in an advanced position. He goes a little bit straighter to Toby, who rolls his man nicely and gets across the way. And it's buried! And there's the equaliser. Haight got a hand on it, but it wasn't enough. And scores a level at Darling Street now.
It's a beautiful play down the right-hand side. Toby put a lovely ball across the face of goal. Had a lot of ball speed behind her. I think it was Haight that parried it out initially, and that's huge. That's huge for Newcastle Olympic. They're off the pace a little bit in that first half. And although they haven't relatively been on top in the second half, when chances have fell their way, they've taken it. We've certainly got a game on our hands now, Daniel.
Sure do. Didn't see this one coming to the way that first stanza ended. So all to do again for Maitland. Royce trying to make something happen. Muddle. Corcoran. McFarlane looked to shoot and then looked to turn provider. Lundy. Hay, Wish got it. Now Lundy again. Shifts it to Muddle. Come back to Lundy. Plenty of white shirts back in defence for Olympic at the moment. There's no way through there. Ruiz. Butchard almost lost it, and there's a foul there. There's a little hand left out by Toby. Ruiz. Butchard. And Collins can't kick that one in. Toby forces it ahead. And Hayes asking for a touch on the way through. It's not going to be called that way.
It's interesting to see how Maitland respond from here as they go down the right.
We've got a chance here. McFarlane trying to cut inside. Eventually they take it off him through James. James spins away in favour of Bradbury. Toby goes himself. See Haight watching that one float over the bar.
Like we mentioned pre-match, Daniel, this is Olympics' first game at home this season. What better way to complete a 2-0 deficit than to turn around this one? Still plenty of work to be done. Had the better chances.
Some work to be done in defence here in particular. West there to mop up. Now James. Bombs it long does James. Comes down with Bradbury. Turns once, turns twice. Give it away, but almost one back. It's Thompson still going, and it's been thumped up the park by Brymora. Collins. Ruish. Corcoran. Lundy. Chance on here. That was Royce, I think, was trying to bring it across, and Cotton just slices at that one. Achieves a clearance, but not quite the distance he wanted. Throw comes back to Ruish. McFarlane. Back to goal here. Muddle facing goal. And it ricochets off Muddle's shins, and it's eventually out for a throw-in.
Wouldn't be surprised if especially Michael Bolch looks to his bench shortly. Obviously the likes of Jared Muller, Sean Pratt as well, the former Magpie.
Lundy, I didn't think he caught it cleanly, but he still forced the save from Pearce. And it'll be a corner for the visitors. Goes a little bit short. It was Bradbury stooping for that one. They'll get a take two. He goes a bit longer this time. Sorry, yeah, it was Muddle goes a bit longer this time. And almost an Olympico at Olympic.
I was going to say, he needed a touch there from Adam Pearce.
Hasn't helped in its way, so it's McFarlane from the far side that delivers this time. Across the back, that was an inventive effort from Lundy. They tried to get it back out to McFarlane, but now they're in a bit of trouble here. White shirts surging forward for Olympic. Cotton is busting a lung on the right-hand side. It goes in that general direction, but Butchard read it and blocked the passing lane. Still a chance here. Southcombe got the shot away. It was blocked. And now Olympic will have a corner.
Well, the game's starting to open up now. A few tired Maitland bodies out there in particular. You can see the Olympic crowd feeding off that energy, and coming with that is two changes from Michael Bolch's side.
It's going to be Sean Pratt and Jared Muller, the man you just mentioned.
Goal change for Newcastle Olympic, coming from the field of 13, Nathan Cody,
Those two leaving the field have gone through a mountain of work in this one. Ben Hay with the crucial assist for the first goal.
Will make a difference immediately from the corner. It's an authoritative thump from Pate. There's still a chance here for James. Edge of the area, and flag goes up as tried to take that one quickly. I think it was Toby that had a lash. It was James with the initial shot. It was looking for goal number two for number two.
This game's starting to open wide up now. Maitland now looking to their bench. But certainly it's in the balance. Olympic, I feel, have stepped things up a notch, especially based off their first half performance, but looks as well that Royce, who's departing the field now, is in a bit of discomfort. He's worked his backside off in this one.
Lundy also looking fairly ginger. We've seen Royce get some lumps kicked out of him already, so that makes sense that he might be feeling a bit worse for wear. Collins. Collins just kept it in and copped the trip and gets the free kick. Jaden Ritchie, one of the new men for Newcastle Olympic. Just for something mysterious, we have a number 4, but not on the team sheet.
I just noticed that as well. But Jaden Ritchie's come onto the field, that's for sure, for the Magpies and the ball now.
Collins. Ruiz. Out wide to McFarlane. Trying to slide one through. Brimora tries to shield it. The cutback comes. Duncan was on the end of it, which was just as well for Olympic, but it's still not out of play, so it's whacked back in. Collins got a shot away. It wasn't too far away.
Isaac Collins looking for his 3rd of the season. You can see why he's picked up goals to his name. He's been quite in patches tonight, but almost found himself on the end of that one. Teasing delivery, and like I mentioned, only might be take a moment of individual brilliance for either side to go and win this one. I don't think both teams will be too happy with a point, especially Maitland, considering the fact this is the 2nd week in a row they've let teams back into the game.
Well, if last week was a couple of points dropped, this most definitely is, as it stands, Cotton. Runs into Muller. Kuratani. Cotton, in a little bit of a wider position this time. Now combining with Muller, who shaped to shoot but then decided to think better of it. He might get a shot this time. He does! And it has to be pushed away by Pate. Bradbury, his shot's blocked. And now we're going to have a stoppage for an injury. Tell you what, that was close to Olympic taking the lead.
Great chance. Great chance for Olympic. Chance now for both teams to reset. Both getting some words of encouragement from both their coaches, but a few tired bodies starting to get out there on the field. We know both teams have headed to their bench, but it's been a hard-fought battle up until now.
Clock who it is. It's not our not a mystery substitute, is it? He's up and trotting now, so that's a good sign. He just got one in the face. And of course we are pretty wary about possible concussions these days. And that one is just wide as well. No, in fact, it was Corcoran.
Home side starting to get on top here. Bradbury, another chance. I'm sure he'll be hungry to leave his mark on this game. You know, he's such a good goal scorer in this competition. Got a few sniffs in the first half. He's the one for me that could be the difference.
Are you suggesting a Bradbury could pull off a come-from-behind victory?
It's possible. Certainly possible.
That's a free kick. And that'll be a yellow card. I think I'm humming you out to dry with the referencing. I know you're a bit younger than I, so others at home might get that one. Just had a Winter Olympic Games. So that'll be Southcombe, wasn't it, that gets the yellow card. Muddle with the free kick. drives it deep, and Pearce
Great hands.
comes and collects well. Both keepers have had a lot more work to do in the last few minutes of this one, and it continues to open up. Not only is it getting stretched, it's starting to get a little bit agricultural. West just got caught in two minds there, I think, and just overcooked that. Collins, a slightly heavy touch, but manages to hold off Southcombe, and then back for Butchard, who gets a bit of a check by Furatani. To be fair, was probably just standing his ground. Speaking of standing his ground, Thompson gets his body in the way of that attempt by Muller to advance. Throws for Muller to run onto, but it was read well by Corcoran. Cotton with the longish throw, and Ruiz gets ahead on it at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, not what Maitland would have liked here, especially a set piece. And I've got to admit, it's been pretty much one-way traffic the last 5 minutes.
So we're into the final 10% of the game, plus stoppages. And it's Olympic with the wind at their back at the moment, metaphorically at least. It was McFarlane that made the header, so James will get a second chance here. Goes in low, and again it's Ruiz that gets something on it. This time it was his foot, and this time they managed to clear it up the park, and Cotton is under a bit of pressure now and just has to put it out over the touchline.
Yeah, if Richie would have reeled that one in, there was a chance to break. Crowley was ahead of him. Like I said, this game wide open, despite Olympic having a lot on the ball the last few minutes. Maitland have sort of shied away from that football they were playing in the first half and keeping the ball. Starting to do so better now.
This is Muddle. He had to reach for it, and his attempted across is blocked by Pratt. Corcoran tried to play Richie in, but there's a little bit too much to do there. Muller is a little isolated up top for Olympic. Referee waves play on. Richie, that won't be play on. It'll be a yellow card for Sean Pratt.
Loves a yellow card to Sean Pratt.
He took 10 minutes.
Up against his former club as well tonight in the Magpies.
So he joins Will Southcombe on the yellow card tightrope. 7 minutes and change to go in this one. Two first half goals by Braden Crowley cancelled out by goals for the aforementioned Southcombe and also Kiri James. Bundled one in after hurried away. Free kick is lofted over, and it goes past Pearce, and now there's a free kick.
Yeah, I think Pearce has collected. It looked like danger signs here. Not sure who it is on the ground, but straight away calling to the touchline.
Is it Thompson that went up? I think it's Thompson that went up for the free kick. Yes, indeed. Now, he'll have to come off, won't he? Momentarily. He's trying to resume his position in that back three, but going to be made to vacate the field, is he? A couple more changes Well, that all is sorted out for Olympic. So Will Harvey and Lockie Marchant have gone on. I saw that Furatani has gone off. Didn't see who the other sub-off was.
Furatani and I believe it was Southcombe, the goal scorer. Two youthful changes in Harvey and Marchant, like you mentioned.
And McFarlane giving away a free kick. Five minutes plus stoppage time to try and find a winner for either side. James. Harvey.
Olympic bench is on its feet, that's for sure. Starting to heat up this one.
Drilled in low, and Thompson's on the end of it. West, still West. The challenge has to be composed, and it is. He's just forced out of the area for now. James might try and get it back in there, although it'll have to be via a less direct route than he would have liked, as they have to look back here. Pratt floats it over for Bradbury. Has he been dragged down? He has been. It'll be a free kick to the Warriors.
Well, this one's on the opposite side, but last time Olympic had a free kick, outside the box it was Ben Hay. Delivery who found Southcombe for the header, and like we mentioned early in the first half, Daniel, there's some tall timber in there for Olympic, especially at the back stick. Marchant substitute, plenty to aim at in the box.
Marchant is waiting. Bramora's gone up. He doesn't get past, and there, and Pratt get it through. Flag has gone up now, so it's in the back of the net again, and it won't count.
Second goal tonight. It's been offside for the host. A shame that free kick didn't really come to much.
Harvey solid there, but then the foul is given away by West. Harvey's pretty keen for this to get going again. So was Muddle. We've got a game on our hands. Ruish. Ritchie. Collins, that's a lovely ball. Collins, can he finish? Wow, he almost set the keeper down, but then just a rush of blood with the shot and sprayed it wide.
Massive chance. Huge chance for Maitland. Gordon begging. Collins sort of had Adam Pearce beaten, didn't he? When he cut in. Sort of sent Adam Pearce one way, and it's probably the closest, or one of the closest times that Maitland have come in this second half. Chances have come few and far between.
I was expecting the net to ripple when Pearce hit the deck, but we wait for a decisive goal. Will we be left waiting? Harvey. With Muller ahead of him, he goes a little bit more direct. It'll get out to Muller eventually. Oh no, he decides that he prefers the corner. Another set-piece opportunity for the hosts.
Great little feint there from Muller. Just early side, a corner. This is where you want the ball if you're an Olympic fan. Down this end of the field. Deep. Very deep, actually, into the second half.
It is Kiri James with the responsibility for this corner. Minute and a half to go in regular time. In it comes, and the header is over the bar. It was Bramora who met it, couldn't guide it in.
Found himself free at that front stick, Bramora, and probably would have been just a bit disappointed he didn't turn that one the way he would have liked us. Pratt slips.
He loses footing at an inopportune time to Sean Pratt. Muddle. Pratt with a second attempt here, although he didn't really take it cleanly. Still we wait for that go-ahead goal. Be another one for Maitland. It'll be a first one for Olympic. Turned over. Another chance for Maitland. Slung across in the direction of Collins, who had a good chance a couple of minutes ago. Collins comes inside. McFarlane, edge of the area, shifts it wide. They look for the cutback now. In fact, they look for the chip over. Ritchie! Couldn't get it cleanly, but gets a corner for his trouble.
Well, minutes ago it was Olympic. We've all the ball down one end this time. It's Maitland, and another chance here from a set piece. It was McFarlane with the initial ball out wide. A lovely teasing cross, and Maitland, can they snatch it here?
Minimum 3 minutes added as Muddle delivers the corner, and the header from Crowley drops in the area. Bundled home. Maitland lead again. And that should be the winner.
Teasing cross there to the front stick. Olympic struggling to clear it. I know they're in a bit of urgency to get the ball back to the halfway line now. But that final touch from Maitland, so important. And I wouldn't say they're home and hosed just yet, but Olympic now got to throw everything they have at the visitors.
It was Thompson that got the goal. The man whose main job is to stop him has scored one in the first minute of second half stoppage time. Just when this one was looking like 2 points lost, all three are back in the grasp of the Maitland Magpies. But can Olympic rip them away again? Is there a handball there? No. No is the call. Collins gives it up. Cotton has to go quickly. Came off the back of Ruiz, I think. So throw-in will go to Olympic, but they'll have to wait for the change. Theo Law waiting at the halfway line.
Very impressive today, McFarlane. Departing the field now. Theo Law to add some fresh legs to try and see out this result.
Cotton long with the throw. Muller. Just to evade his defender, at least at the first time of asking, but not the second time. Ritchie, anywhere will do at the moment for Maitland. We are into that 3rd minute of time added, but we should have a little bit more thanks to the goal. But the clock does not favour Olympic at the moment.
Certainly doesn't, that's for sure.
Have to get this one in the mixer and have to do it soon. Muller comes. James, he tried to get it across. He might have a second attempt here. No, that's a good challenge from Corcoran. And again, it's just cleared long. It's not fancy, but it's all Maitland need to do at the moment. Just get it away from their end. Pearce returns with interest. Duncan has gone up for it, leaving themselves a little exposed at the back, Olympic, but they have to. Ritchie goes on a run now. He's dragged down by Harvey. It's just a free kick at the moment. Ritchie stayed down. Just try and take some of the momentum out of this one, Ritchie, if nothing else. We have gone past those 3 minutes.
Marcus Duncan, the skipper for Olympic, has pushed himself on forward, hoping to create that extra number, but the ball really needs to be up the other end if you're an Olympic fan.
Ruiz, Butchard. They need to get it off him. Muddle. All the way back to Thompson, who just scored that 3rd goal. Now they try and go long here and pull the trigger. Ritchie. He's got Law coming with fresh legs. He slides it in for Law. Can he get a touch? No. Pearce is out to it first, but he's got to get it up there quickly. Law in full pest mode, but Pearce does manage to get it up there. Butchard. Duncan strong on the ball, but he's got to get it over. Does Duncan. Flicks it through for Muller. Jared Muller, what can he do here? Gets across in the area. Duncan flicks it on. It's cleared for now. And then helped on its way. And the final touch is Crowley's. And that is the end of the game. Maitland will take all 3 points back out the New England Highway.
Well, it's Maitland that get the points back to Cook Square Park. It wasn't a pretty second half by their standards. First half, I thought they were really, really impressive. But ultimately, Daniel, Maitland leave here having won in both the men's and the women's. And fully deserving as well, especially based off that first half. Braden Crowley adds another brace to his name, but all in all, congratulations to Maitland on a busy day here at Darling Street.
So the full-time score here at Darling Street Oval, it's Newcastle Olympic 2, Maitland FC 3. We thank you for your company tonight. It's good night from us.
We thank all of Maitland FC, players, all their officials and their supporters for being here tonight. It really is wonderful to share these 4 games, the spirit of friendship. And what we have is the Intercity Cup. It is Newcastle versus Maitland. It's East versus West. And looking at the scoreboard, well, there's not much of the scoreboard here, PJ, so I think we'll almost call it a draw, but I think you just got us on a smidgen. So, Maitland FC are the winners of the Intercity Cup in 2025, and we look forward to fighting for it again up at Cook Square Park next year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for everyone's attention. Thank you very much for being here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Good night.
Living in the past, Foster, 2026, not 2025.